Shirley Temple called me up one night in 1978 and threatened to sue my ass off if I went through with my plans to make the movie I wrote, called The Wreck of the Good Ship Lollipop. It was supposed to be my dramatic metaphor, the path of her career since she was a bratty little kid. Basically, the Good Ship Lollipop hits an iceberg, and the Shirley Temple character ends up in the frozen ocean for days. She gets all wrinkly and bloated, just like she is in real life. Then finally gets picked apart by seals and marine birds. Well, even though I slammed the phone down on her, it wouldn't be the last I'd hear from Shirley Temple. I needed to relax after a long day of shooting. So I settled down in my penthouse suite at the Caligula Inn with a big glass of scotch on the rocks. We had just finished scene 3, where the captain of the Good Ship Lollipop gets decapitated by a 30-foot-long razor-sharp piece of iceberg. Anywho, no quicker do I sit down do I hear a soft knock at my door. When I answer, who's standing there? None other than Shirley Temple herself, draped in a long white mink and not much else, thank you very much. Well, I invite her in. We have a couple of drinks, and then she springs it on me. She says, "Is there nothing I can do to change your mind about filming your movie, Mr. Twinkie?" Now, granted, she wasn't no Raquel Welch, but I ain't ever been all that choosy when it came to naked broads, right? So I tell her I need a minute in the John to get myself organized. When I come out of the John, she ain't nowhere to be found. The front door is wide open, and my director's copy of The Wreck of the Good Ship Lollipop is gone. I had been had. Once again, I let my little brain do the thinking. So I went down to the wharf to ask the salty old mariner where I could find the man they call Blowfish. I'll admit it all seemed a little crazy. The fact that this mysterious Blowfish guy would know where the whereabouts of the tugboat that Temple had rented. And that would help me get me back the only copy of my movie. Anyway, the old mariner told me that Blowfish was at sea hunting a great white. Well, I handed him a 20, and all of a sudden Blowfish was out saving whales with green pieces. Again, I started to walk away when I stopped, and I handed him another 20. Turns out Blowfish worked at the bait store at the end of the pier. The one-eyed peg-legged a-hole. Well, next thing you know, I'm sailing the 7 seas just like Captain Ahab himself, in hot pursuit of the tiny tug. My captain, a drunk named Fitzgerald, had us moving at 35 knots. Up ahead, I could see the light of Temple's tug. See, I think Shirley thought she could escape to another country or something with that movie and stop me from getting it. Well, soon enough, we'd caught up to her boat and started to smash into it. Bam! Bam! Well, then they were all taking on water. And I kept yelling, "Shirley, throwing me the rails, and nobody dies a horrible death, you son of a bee." Well, just when I thought I had her, she pulled another quick one on me. She jumped into a lifeboat and tossed the reels of my film, The Wreck of the Good Ship Lollipop, into the engine's propeller at the back of our boat. Then she rowed herself back to shore. Meanwhile, Fitzgerald and I ended up getting lost at sea for 5 days in a dense fog. Never again did I hear from Shirley Temple, and never again could I get the money to finance a movie about her. So, that's the story of The Wreck of the Good Ship Lollipop.